next parsha, chapter 11, verse 28, which in Hebrew is, anybody? Anybody, Shmuel? Perek Yud Aleph, Pasuk Chaf Ches. Verse says, Vayan Yehoshua ben Nun, Mishareis Moshe, Mi Bechurav. Pasuk says, and Yehoshua, Joshua, the son of Nun, who was Mishareis Moshe, he was the one that helped Moshe. Moshe's servant, also translates, I would say his helper, his assistant, Mi Bechurav, since he was a child, always, since, who was the child there, Shmuel? What? Since he was a child, not since Moshe was a child, since Yehoshua was a child, he was always the shamus of Moshe Rabbeinu. Vayomar Adonai Moshe Kalayim. And he said, Moshe, my Lord, punish them. This is in reference to Eldad and Medad, the false prophets who said some things that weren't respectful to Moshe Rabbeinu. The Vilna Gaon points out a very interesting idea. The Gemara says, Godol Shemusha Yosa Milimuda. As important as Limud Torah is, there's something which is more important than Limud Torah. What is that?
Loving the Torah.
Loving the Torah, okay. Shemusha, being a person that is a shamus for Torah, a person that helps out Talmidei Chacham. Yehoshua was not the greatest Talmid Chacham. Moshe Rabbeinu had greater Talmidei Chacham. Why was Yehoshua chosen to be the leader, to take over Moshe Rabbeinu's position? Why was he chosen? Because Yehoshua would set up the benches for the Shir, put away the Svarim, put out the Svarim.
He did the little things. We all know the little things matter.
Little things matter. Throw out the dirty tissues that people didn't throw out themselves. They didn't have their carrots. You don't throw out dirty tissues, you can be the biggest Talmid Chacham in the world. If you don't have their carrots, you're not going to be the leader. Great lesson. And the Torah tells us, interesting part. The Torah says of Vilna Gaon is hinting to us why Yehoshua was chosen to be the one that succeeded Moshe Rabbeinu. Why was Yehoshua ben Nun the leader? Mishareis Moshe, because he was Moshe's assistant. He helped Moshe. Limud Torah is great, but Godol Shemusha Yosem Limuda, a person who is a shamus, a person that helps a Talmid Chacham, is more important than even learning himself to be involved around the Talmid Chacham. Why? What's so important? Because from learning Torah from a book, you have book knowledge, and it's very nice. But as we said in the previous year, a Talmid Chacham is more important even than a Torah. The Torah is very holy, but a Talmid Chacham is a living Torah. It's a living Torah. Which Gadol from the last generation wrote a commentary called the Living Torah? Anybody know? No, Rabbi Kaplan. Rabbi Kaplan. You heard of him?
Rabbi Kaplan?
Rabbi Kaplan. He wrote a lot of famous songs about Nida, about the mikvah, about believing in Hashem. So I think his book was called The Living Torah. But the Talmid Chacham is a living Torah. Okay, just pointed that out. That's why Moshe Rabbeinu was chosen to be the leader. Yehoshua was chosen to be the successor of Moshe Rabbeinu is because of his midos.
And he was the only person out of all the Jews that had midos, I guess. Right? Everybody else was just a
No, some of them did, some of them didn't. Very funny. No, you can't say that about the Jewish people. But he was the one that was, as the Torah says, he was the one that was Mishareis Moshe, Moshe's main disciple in midos, not in Torah. Other people might have been a bigger Talmid Chacham, but his main disciple in learning midos, learning Pap Anhaga from Moshe Rabbeinu was Yehoshua. Pasuk tells us that the end of the parasha, Vayish Moshe, and the man Moshe, Ana Ma'od, Ana Mikol Od Moshe Al Pnei Adam. He was so humble, more than anybody even on the ground. So we mentioned last year a lot of pshatim, very nice pshatim of what that means. But I figured I'll tell you another pshat from the Goyin. We'll call this year the Goyin's year. First we said one word, now we'll say another word from the Goyin. The Gemara tells us Masechet Sota, maybe we'll get to it in the next segment, that the Mishnah tells us that when different people died who excelled in different midos, when they died, that midah went out the window. One of them is Mishamesh, for example, Mishamesh Rabban Gamliel, but the Kavod HaTorah. When Rabban Gamliel died, I think it was Rabban Gamliel, the honor for Torah went out the window. Mishnah says, Mishamesh Rebbe, when Rebbe died, Batul Anova. Humility went out the window.
Really? So he was like holding that one.
He was right. Rebbe was the epitome of Anova. Rabbi Yosef said, no, you can't say that. It's not true. Why? V'yika, I know. Me. I'm a greater Anov than Rebbe. What are you? Shmuel asked the Vilna Gaon's kasha. Very good, Shmuel. Very good, Shmuel. It's obvious kasha. So Rabbi Yosef said, what are you talking about? Rebbe was the greatest Anov. I'm greater. How about me? So before we'll say Adam Shatim, Mr. Shemel, in the next year we'll say Adam Shatim. I'm just going to end off with the Gaon's pshat in this Maimar Chazal. Says the Gaon, no, you don't know how to read. You don't know how to translate. Not Ana, me. The Tana, Ana. In the Jerusalem Talmud, there is a Tana called Ana. So Rabbi Yosef says, don't say that when Rebbe died, Another went away. What do you mean, Ana? Or Rabbi Ana? Maybe you didn't have smicha. Did you ever notice why certain great people in the Gemara, we don't give them smicha? Abaye, Rava, Shmuel.
They never had smicha.
So if they didn't have smicha, they were called by the first name, Shmuel. So maybe, I'm saying, I added Ana, Rebbe Ana. Maybe it's not Rebbe Ana. Maybe it's just Ana. That's the Vilna Gaon's Geshmak Pshat. V'yika Ana. So we said, what do you mean? What do you mean, me? Isn't that a guy? Isn't that being boastful? No, he doesn't mean me. He means Ana. So he said, you can't say that Rebbe is the only one that had another. Ana.
But I still don't get how that's not being boastful.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to answer up the regular pshat. If you learn that it means on himself, that's for the next year. How's that being boastful? The Vilna Gaon says no. When he said Ana, he didn't mean me. He meant the Rabbi Ana. That's what I was saying before. In the Jerusalem Talmud, there's a Rebbe by the name of Ana.
Really?
So I don't know if it's Rebbe Ana or Ana. You know, I'm just saying, sometimes in the Gemara, we don't give the title Rabbi because he doesn't have smicha. It just says Shmuel, or it says Abaye. So Rabbi Yosef saying, Ana is around. The Tana, Ana. So according to Vilna Gaon, you don't have a kasha that he said, what do you mean? Isn't that Gaiva? It's not Gaiva. Because he's not talking about himself. Okay, one more guy and then we'll go to something else. While we're on the subject of Anava, the Vilna Gaon says a beautiful pshat. If you look in the Torah, in the beginning, Torah tells us that Yaakov Avinu says, Katonti, Mikol HaChasadim, Mikol HaEmes. That's one pshat. There's also Katonti. Okay, there's two ways of reading that pasuk. What parsha is that in?
Oh, somewhere in Bereshit, I know.
It is in Bereshit. Bereshit Noach, Lachacha, Vayerach, Chaisara told us, Vayetze, Vayishlach. The eighth parsha. So, it's very important. Vayishlach is the eighth parsha. What pasuk in Parshas Vayishlach does it say the word Katonti?
Probably 8.
In the eighth pasuk. Okay? Says the Vilna Gaon, that's pshat in the Gemara. The Gemara says the Talmid Chacham has to have an eighth of Gaiva. Simple pshat is it means you have to have some Gaiva. You can't be like a shmata. You have to have something, a very small amount. A 64th, an eighth of an eighth, a very small amount. Says the Vilna Gaon, no, it doesn't mean that. It means you have to be like Yaakov Avinu. The Yaakov Avinu, when he said Katonti Mikol HaChasadim Mikol HaEmes, that's the eighth pasuk in the eighth parsha. That's what he was saying. He was saying, Hashem, I became so small because all that you did for me, maybe I don't deserve anything. And so that was Anivus. Sons of Vilna Gaon, that what he was saying was, what the Gemara was saying was, a person has to be an Onav, like who? Like Yaakov Avinu. The eighth of an eighth parsha, eighth pasuk. Beautiful insights from the Vilna Gaon on the Parshas Ba'aloscha.